Well, after you've done all of that hard work with John, fighting for your goals, fighting against your problems, picture this. You're on vacation. You have gone hours and hours to get thousands of miles away from home. And now it's late, you're jet lagged, but you've found your Airbnb cottage. The key was under the mat. The room and place is more spacious and beautiful than you expected it to be. And there on the table is a great big pitcher of ice water with slices of lemon in it. You drop your luggage, kick off your shoes, and pour yourself a great big glass of refreshing water. You toast your good fortune and you drink to your health. 20 minutes later, you are sound asleep in a comfy bed. And then you're woken with a start because you had a big glass of water. Yes, nature is calling, and it's dark, dark, dark. You stumble out of bed and you're walking along until you hit a wall that isn't there. Or at least it wasn't in your house. You're not sure where you are, but you know you're not home, and you know you need to find a bathroom fast. You grope along the wall for a light switch, to no avail. But you find a door, you open it, and it's a closet. By now, you'd settle for a potted palm. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, honored dignitaries, welcome guests, and especially fellow Toastmasters. I am so happy to be here to share with you, yes, a simple hypnotic concept, a memory method that will help you remember your speech and deliver your best speech yet. It's called the Spatial Mapping, because this is exactly what we're doing. We are mapping our ideas onto a familiar space. Oh, I need to get back to that story, don't I? Yes, indeed. You do find the room you want, you do get the relief you're looking for, and you have the best vacation ever. However, isn't that experience in that cottage much like what happens when we don't remember our speeches? We're wandering in the dark, we're groping for the light, we're looking for the door to our next idea, and we're eager, ardently, desperate to express ourselves. So the spatial mapping method that I'm offering you today, that you will experience today, will give you the chance to put that behind you for good. Now, there are only two things you need for the spatial mapping method. The first is your speech. Each of you already, I'm sure, as Toastmasters, knows what you would like to say and deliver to your audience. So the second thing is a familiar landscape. Now, we're going to start with the second, the familiar landscape, the familiar location, and I would bet that each of you already has one that you know as well as the palm of your hand. And that space is your own homes. We're going to test this right now. I'd just like you to close your eyes and imagine walking from your front door all the way through your house to the back door. If you don't have a back door, just imagine walking all the way from your front door, looping through your house, and getting back to your front door. When you've done that, nod your head and open your eyes. Ah, yes, indeed. We all know our homes like the palms of our hands. Fabulous. Now, because we each have our own separate landscape, we're going to work together with the same narrative. We're going to share a narrative. And because of constraints of time, it's not going to be separate narratives, or it's not going to be a long speech or a story. It's going to be 5 simple things. So we're going to match 5 locations, I imagine, are in everybody's house, with 5 simple concepts, and you're going to experience spatial mapping for yourself. So the 5 locations in your home will be the entryway, the kitchen, the living room, the bathroom, and the bedroom. So just scanning those in your own house, having those as your marked locations. Now these are the places, these are the objects we're going to map into those locations. Elephants, envelope, sardines, financial statements, and butterflies. And here is the trick. Whenever we want to remember something, we remember, the human mind remembers the outrageous, the odd, the non sequitur, what doesn't fit. Those are the things we remember. So I'm going to invite you to just use your imaginations and make these things big, bright, colorful, odd, different textures, different than what they normally are. The other thing that's important is movement. Movement is a great way to trigger our memories. So I will add a verb to each one of these items. So our first location is entryway. In that, we're going to put dancing elephants. Instantly, in your mind, see dancing elephants in your entryway. Second thing is your kitchen. In your kitchen, you're going to see a singing envelope. Just use those imaginations, see a singing envelope. Third is your living room. In your living room, you're going to have arguing sardines. Get those sardines in argument with one another. The fourth one is your bathroom, and that's where you're going to have sneezing financial statements. And my financial statements are definitely something to sneeze at. The fifth thing is your bedroom. And in your bedroom, you're going to have, what did we say? Butterflies. Perfect. In your bedroom, you're going to have melting butterflies. So just think about that for a moment. Now you realize you have just created your own spatial map, linking locations and things. You did that all in your head, no computer, no paper, no pencil. And I would guess some of you have some pretty vivid images that just came that fast to your own creative imaginations. Now, there is another way. That's one of 2 ways in which we do spatial mapping. The second way is to literally write the ideas of your speech on 3x5 cards. Each idea on a 3x5 card and tape them up through your house in the sequence of your speech. Now, the value of doing it that way is threefold. The first is you and your family see the evidence of your creative mind. It brings it out into a dimension that allows you all to respect and value the growth and development of an idea. The second is that it makes it very easy to see where there's a gap in your logic. And you just make another 3x5 card, put it on another piece of furniture between the existing 2 points. The third is that it's very easy that way to just move these cards around to increase the importance and value and effect of your speech. The first way, however, to do it in your own head that's very worthwhile is that it reduces your dependence on written materials. The other thing that you get out of that is that the only things you see in your mental imagination, in your mental home, are the objects to which concepts are taped, which means that as you go through it, you're not distracted by the other detritus and features of your home. The third thing, perhaps most important if you're at all like me, is that when you guide your audience through your home and your ideas, it's never cluttered and it's always dust-free. I wanted to also bring this with me to show you that what you can do is draw that floor plan on a 3x5 card to bring with you. This is a replica of a TED Talk, and as many of you know, TED Talks incorporate what's called a confidence monitor. It's actually a monitor right down in the footlights for speakers. There are very few speakers who do some of what you've seen already today and will see today, people who speak entirely from memory. That's valuable, and it's not essential when you're sharing ideas you really want to get to your audience, when it's time for you to tell your story and you haven't memorized everything sentence for sentence, word for word, gesture for gesture. A floor plan with a set of simple doodles indicating what you were going to speak about is the most valuable and actually totally legitimate way to continue your talk and make sure you share every salient point with your audience, as I will do right now. I hope you're seeing how this method really is a simple way to help you carry your audience through the ideas in your mind. So Simonides of Chaos was the instigator, supposedly, from an apocryphal story, of this method. Ancient as the Greeks, he was a Greek orator who was giving a speech, a lyric poem of hundreds of lines, lyric being that it was spoken to the music of a lyre. The music, by the way, was his speech cue. Different music taught him where to be in his lyric poem. After giving this long poem, he was called outside of the banquet hall in this palace. A moment after he left, the roof collapsed in on the banquet hall, killing everyone inside. As people were clearing out the rubble, this stone roof had so thoroughly just crushed everyone that it was impossible to identify them, except Simonides had memorized where every individual, hundreds of guests, were in that building. And thus, the beginning, the initiation, the birthplace of the method of loci, where a topic, an idea, a concept is correlated to where it is in space. There are other names for this. One is the memory palace method. Also, 3-time world memory champion Dominic O'Brien calls it the journey method. Still in all, it is spatial mapping method. And I want you to know that you do this every day, because all of you have been on holiday. All of you have the same drive you go to and from work. All of you know the location and the outlay, the layout of your office and your cars. What you also do instantly is when you go there in your mind, you remember what you did there. You remember the activities you participated in the holiday on that beach, in that building. So you're already each familiar with this. And let's see how well we've done with our development of it today. Who would like to say the first place and the object? Who remembers that? Yes, yes. Perfect, all right. And number 2? Yes? Perfect, perfect. Okay, number 3? Which? Arguing sardines. 4th place. Which one? Bathroom? And? Absolutely. And the 5th? 5th, what and where? Melting butterflies. Exactly, exactly. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you have seen the value of this, the familiarity of it already in your lives. And I'd like to tell you now, go home. Yes, go home. Take the floor plan of your house, overlay it with the elements of your speech, so that when it's your turn to be up here, you will be able to guide us, your audience, through your speech with the simplicity and effortlessness of taking guests through your home. And now, in honor of those orators that preceded us and the great public speakers who will follow in our footsteps, I'd like to offer you a snippet of a famous lyric poem by William Wordsworth Longfellow called The Psalm of Life. Lives of great men all remind us we can live our lives sublime, and departing, leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. Footprints that perhaps another, sailing o'er life's solemn main, some forlorn and shipwrecked brother, seeing, shall take heart again. Let us then be up and doing, with a heart for any fate, still achieving, still pursuing. Learn to labor and to wait.